What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the show. Yes, yes. Okay, now before I get started, just to let you know, if you are highly sensitive, I highly encourage you to not watch this video and wait until the next video that I put out. But this video is going to be about an article that came about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and it's stating the rise of single, lonely men. After reading the article, I wanted to point out a few things, which is what I personally believe and why the dating land pool is just on a steady decline. Now, one thing that it projected in this article, it stated that it was just single lonely men, but you have to realize that a lot of people are lonely right now. Not just men and women. Everybody's lonely right now, and that's me personally because I believe it's dating apps, social. First of all, get off of dating apps, especially if you're a Christian. You do realize that we are in a hookup culture right now, right? Where people are just using each other for sexual pleasure. Me personally, I don't do that. I just cannot do that. And then on top of that, God says that we're not even supposed to do that in the first place. God set out the blueprint for relationships. However, people don't want to do that. People just want to get sexually gratified. They're bored. They just want attention, or I mean, whatever else reason why they are actually on dating apps. So get off of Tinder. Get off. Was it Bumble? Get off of Bumble and get. There was a new app that I just found out about like a couple of months ago. Hinge. I don't even know if there are any more dating apps out there because my time is just way too valuable, and I honestly just don't have the time to just swipe. So I don't have time. I don't have time to do that. Now that I think about it, I haven't been on a relationship dating app in about 3 to 4 years. Yeah, 3 to 4 years. That sounds about right because it just sounds like a waste of time. I've just off of the stories that I've heard, just me personally, it's just like, why would I waste my time doing that? And who knows how many other people are just on the opposite side of that phone that you're reaching out to. They may just trying to use you as a hookup, use you for attention, or whatever case that they may be using you for. I mean, but it's very skewed, and you can't really tell, and it's blurred lines on who is actually being up there that is serious and who is actually up there just trolling, just wasting time just because they're bored or whatever. No, it just sounds like I could be doing something else way more important with my time to just swipe all day long. Now, going on with the article, it said the very first thing that it says is dating opportunities for heterosexual men are diminishing as relationship standards rise, which is true. I've heard people's standards and whatnot is just out of this world, and it's ridiculous. You're never gonna find somebody, and you're cutting your pool short of the people who you actually going to actually give a chance to. And who knows, the people who you actually give a chance to, are they going to look at you as in the same light that you're looking at, because you're putting those certain people on a pedestal, but are they going to put you this low on a pedestal, or are they going to be on equal or higher? Ridiculous. Now the next thing is men represent approximately 62% of dating app users, lowering their chances of matches. Wow. So basically it's saying more men are actually on there than women. And the last one is men need to address skills deficits to meet healthier relationship expectations. I'm not really sure if that's a valid point. The other two I'll give you leeway on, but the last one I'm not going to give him a pass on that. Now, another reason why I believe, because everyone knows, if you've been watching me for a while, of how much I preach of how social media is just depleting and destroying people's mindsets, and people can't even think for themselves anymore. People have put their relationship standards based on what they see on social media instead of what they actually like, or looking at social media and others and what the vast majority likes, and then they latch on to that instead of being authentic and true to themselves and liking what they like instead of what other people like. Nobody is really authentic anymore. No one, well, I'm not going to say no one, but majority of the people, they just want to be like everybody else and except for themselves. That is the great thing about people, is that we're all different from each other. Not everyone has to, be in the same clique or whatever. I honestly think that's whack, bro. I think that's whack. I think that's very corny. And because of social media and how people are exposing themselves, a lot of people are not getting into relationships. Me and myself, I'm included in that. I mean, there are like certain things that you just cannot do whenever it becomes in a relationship, or just how your mindset works. And a lot of people they're walking away from dating, they're walking away from marriage. I mean, it's just like an is what it is sort of situation, and a lot of people just don't see that because of what they're posting on social media. And like I said, I love whenever y'all expose yourselves on social media. The veil is unlifted. There's nothing hidden anymore because people just speak out because they're so comfortable posting themselves on social media and what they think about relationships. So it's completely fine for me. It's okay. For example, you know how, like, if you was younger or you was born before whatever, before social media presented itself to everybody, how magic tricks and like sleight of hands, people used to like do stuff like that, and it'd be like, wow, like how does that magician do stuff like that? Now, for example, look at this video right here. Now you see how he is telling you the secrets behind magicians and everything, and what they're actually doing, and it's not as fantastic and terrific as it may seem to be because you're looking at it from his perspective instead of looking at it from an audience perspective. That is the exact same thing of whenever people are just exposing themselves on social media and like the relationship dynamics and what they're actually doing behind closed doors. Like I said, God gave us the blueprint of how the relationship dynamics are supposed to be, how we're supposed to treat each other, just even on a friendship or as a people level, not even on a relationship level. He gave us all three. But you know what? People don't want to listen to this. You don't want to listen to this? Okay, guess what? You're gonna lose. You are gonna lose. And this article, it was a lie. Because it just projected of how lonely and single men are going to be. Now, if men are lonely and single, the question is, what does that make women? Aren't women going to be single and lonely as well? That's a valid question. Like I said, you don't want to follow what the Bible's saying. You don't want to listen to God, and you want to stray away. That's completely fine. Consequences are going to come with your actions. Like the things that I've seen on social media. There was a video that I saw about a month ago, and it was a guy who was holding the camera up to himself, and he was like thrusting into the camera like he was having relations with somebody. I don't know why people do that. Nevertheless, and the caption of the video was, whenever you are cheating on your girl with another girl, however, you realize that your girlfriend is better performing in the bedroom. It's again just people exposing themselves out on social media, and I'm gonna go after a woman too right now. There was a woman who I was not talking to like that, but I was just like having a conversation with her because I was cool with her, and she revealed to me, about the guys that she was talking to, but she can't find love and blah 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 blah, and I just said, okay. I said, how many dudes are in your phone right now? 15 to 20? How many dudes are trying to talk to you? 15 to 20? And she looked at me like,
nope.
No, this is not 15. And I said, yeah, okay. Next thing you know, she comes to me about 5-10 minutes later, and she was like, yeah, you know what? There's like 15 dudes in my... I knew it, bruh. I freaking knew it. Look, you cannot fool me. The veil has been unlifted from people's faces, and what you can't fool me. You cannot fool me. I'm not naive anymore. I'm not a kid anymore.
Hey, I'm not afraid anymore.
A lot of people do not know this, but not only is relationship on a decline, a lot of people are being lonely, marriage is on the decline, more people are getting divorced than married, but also the birth rate is also declining. A lot of people didn't know, and that's a snowball effect. If people aren't getting to relationships and they're not getting married, even though people have kids out of wedlock, if that is not happening and that is not occurring, then the birth rate is going to decline as well. And guess what's going to happen to the world if there's not enough people on it? That's what's going to happen to the world. We're all going to fail. We all going down. Y'all keep exposing yourselves out on social media. Y'all keep not going with God's guidelines and his plans and whatever. I mean, because I already know people are going to do it. Prove me wrong. Oh, you're not going to prove me wrong. You're not going to prove me wrong because people are going to do whatever they want to do, and they're not going to go with what God instructed and how he actually wants us to live on this earth. And that goes for Christians too. Christians be like, well, Christians, we got it together and we going to stick together. No, that's not true either.
Nope.
That's not true either. I've seen a lot of Christians just cheat on each other. There was this MLB player who was married. Obviously, he was married and everything, and they were Christians. She cheated on him. And you want to know who she was cheating on him with? The pastor, bruh. The pastor? Bruh. The pastor, man. That's not the first story. That's not the last. I went on a deep dive in digging and researching of Christians that have been married that just have been cheating on each other, or have cheated on each other but then got reconciled and then they got back together. So it's everybody. It's not just excluded for people who are not Christians. Or everybody's cheating on each other. And it's hard to, because once you put your time, energy, and focus into that other person, and then you find out they cheat on you, then what? Some people end up checking themselves out, deleting themselves, taking the yammy jammy, and then painting their house with it. People end up divorced and whatnot, and that's just a whole situation within itself. So it's not just single lone. It's not just gonna be single lonely men. It's not just gonna. It's everybody. So like I said, you do not want to follow this and watch what happens to the world. It's just gonna be on a steady decline. Y'all do whatever y'all want to do. Because what is going to happen? Because you do not want to follow God's guideline, okay, that's completely fine. Guess what's going to happen? So you think about it.